When trying to measure VO2 max, the gold standard procedure usually involves the direct measure of analysing a participant's gaseous exchange whilst being stationed on a treadmill or exercise bike. This is because it uses advanced techniques to analyse how a participant can utilise their air that's consumed. The most advanced method of VO2 max measuring is known as the gas analysis. However, there are also several issues that could affect a VO2 max study in terms of validity, reliability, accuracy, and precision. Firstly, it can be suggested that a gas analysis method for measuring VO2 max is quite valid when compared to the likes of other procedures like the MSFT and the QCST. This is because it is referred to as the gold standard procedure due to its direct aspects. Therefore, instead of estimating a participant's result, the gas analysis uses direct measures as it doesn't have to compromise any findings. This is backed up by the fact that Jackson, 1996, stated that the direct measurement of expired gas during exhaustion exercise is the most valid method of assessing the VO2 max when conducting a study on methods and limitations of assessing functional work capacity objectively. However, on the other hand, an argument could be made about the procedure's ecological validity. This is because the much like many other gold standard procedures, the gas analysis procedure can only be assessed at medical centres or a university. This allows the rest to lack an ecological validity, as participants may not feel too comfortable in a laboratory environment, consequently meaning that they may not exercise to their full potential, and in turn meaning that the data recorded won't represent what it's supposed to measure. For example, if a participant wasn't involved in a study using a VO2 max gas analysis and found that they weren't used to aspects of the project whilst exercising, they may not give valid data when participating. This could be since they found the gas mask uncomfortable to wear whilst running, and in turn decided to not push themselves as hard, consequently meaning that underwhelming data may be produced. The fact that a gas analysis test needs to be conducted in a lab is backed up by Quinn 2019, when stating that VO2 max is typically conducted in a sports performance lab, whereas the accuracy of gas analysis can also be evaluated. Harvey 2012 states that accuracy can be defined as how close a measured value is to the real, true, or actual value. Based on this quote, it can be suggested that the gold standard test of gas analysis is somewhat accurate since it matches this statement. For instance, the tight and efficiently sealed air mask that a participant is required to wear prevents external gases from influencing the data. As a result, a researcher can be confident that the data provided is their actual value, and not one that has also considered gases from the rest of the laboratory. However, this is contradicted by Stickland 2003, who concluded that the direct measurement of VO2 max demands sophisticated instrumentation, laboratory time, and trained personnel, and it may not be appropriate for some applications. This quote contradicts the accuracy aspect of this test due to the list of things that may affect it. For example, a researcher may not always be able to get their hands on trained personnel, which could detrimentally affect the result's true aspect. This is because without trained personnel, the precise preparations required may not be carried out, in turn meaning the end value is gained, but it may be discredited as a result of the test's possible lack of accuracy. Furthermore, this could also be linked to the test's possible lack of inter-researcher reliability. This is because not every researcher may be trained personnel. Therefore, it could mean that not every piece of procedure standardized protocol will be carried out, and in turn leading to inaccurate results. In addition, the quote also mentions the fact that the test demands sophisticated equipment. Because this may not once again be most attainable for researchers, a study could lack accuracy, as the data hasn't been obtained with the required sophistication. For instance, perhaps the gas tubes haven't been maintained for a while and in turn are susceptible to leaks and contaminating the data, therefore once again hindering the test accuracy as the real value hasn't been gained. To conclude, the gold standard procedure for VO2 max. The gold standard procedure for VO2 max can also be assessed in terms of precision. Firstly, according to Berman 2020, the term precision can be defined as how close estimates are from different samples to each other. Although it may be assumed that based off this quote, the test doesn't possess any concerning factors with precision due to its advanced equipment, this may not be the case. This is because the test can lack precision when using certain populations. For example, after Curtis in 2014 conducted a study into the critical measuring issues challenges in assessing aerobic capacity in youth, it was found that children struggle to reach their aerobic capacity. This could be because of the maximal aspect of this test, which doesn't account for the needs of children. For instance, as a child wouldn't have developed strong enough muscles, endurance-wise, to reach their aerobic capacity, then they won't be able to provide the gas analysis meter with the correct data. This will affect the precision of the test, as the data from the children's sample are often significantly different from that of the ordinary adult. Moving on to the method now. Sorry about this. Prior to estimating a participant's VO2 max results, there are three main measures that must be conducted. This is not only so that a participant is fully aware of the test protocol, but also so that the researcher isn't left liable to any incidents resulting from the project. Included within the pretest measures is also the researcher preparing all the resources they are going to need. The following table here indicates all the equipment needed for both Queen's College Step Test and the multi-stage fitness test. And the risk assessment, consent form, PARQ is also here, as well as, just get out of the way, the bibliography for the whole assignment. So, and the protocol is here. Sorry. So now we're going to move on to the results. Sorry. I think that's the best view. So the table below, I'm going to be drawing comparisons from this later, but the table below shows the different results that a participant gained in a study. So Queen College Step Tests, they gained 60.9, a VO2 max score, and then in the multi-stage fitness test, they gained 53.4, and this is in comparison to a Premier League footballer who is which is the sport that which is based around the sport that they play, football, and the maximum score that they can get, which is 70. And I'll be drawing comparisons from that later. So to start, in a recent study, both the multi-stage fitness test and the Queen's College Step test were used to measure the VO2 max result of a single participant. This participant was aged 18, male, and plays regularly in a fullback for a county league football side. After completing the maximal test of multi-stage fitness, it was found that the participant 1 was able to reach level 8 shuttle 10. This then concluded to show that their VO2 max score for this test was 53.4 milliliters per kilograms per minute, whereas the Queen's College Step test determined that the participant achieved a VO2 max reading of 60.9 milliliters per kilograms per minute after having a BPM of 30 after 15 seconds of recovery time. So, the participants' multi-stage fitness test results were gathered once a sequence of steps were carried out. For example, an online calculator was used to predict the final VO2 max value in milliliters kilograms per minute. More specifically, the calculator was created by Kidling in 2006 and simply requires the researcher to enter the participant's age, which was 18, their gender, male, and then the level and the shuttle that they finished the test on, which was 8 to 10. As a result, the participant gained the result of 53.4 milliliters kilograms per minute. Similarly to that of the multi-stage fitness test, the Queen's College Step test also required a series of calculations to be taken to determine the result of the VO2 max. However, in this case, a more complex equation was used. Firstly, as the participant is a male, their data was placed into the male calculations once the test was completed. As a result, their recovery heart rate of 120, 15 seconds of recovery heart rate, which equals 30, and then 30 times 4, 120, was multiplied by 0.42 to give the value of 50.4. Furthermore, 50.4 was then subtracted from 111.33 to provide the final reading of 60.9. To back up the accuracy of this calculation completed by the researcher, an online calculator was also used to correspondingly determine the participant's Queen's College Step Test VO2 max score, which was in fact 60.9. Now that these results have been gained from the VO2 max test, further interpretations can be made. This is so that both the researcher and participant can gain an understanding of what these results actually mean. To do this, the results can be split up into two separate parts. These are what the results mean for the participant in terms of health, and what do they mean when it comes to their sport. Firstly, with health, it's important to emphasize the fact that someone's VO2 max score can be a very strong indicator of how healthy someone is. This is because, as mentioned previously, an individual needs healthy cardiovascular and respiratory system to achieve a high or healthy VO2 max score. Consequently, if a participant was to achieve a low VO2 max score, it could be implied that they aren't very healthy, as they wouldn't have possessed healthy respiratory and cardiovascular systems to achieve a higher result. According to Quinn 2019, a male who is between the ages of 13 to 19 and had achieved a VO2 max reading of 30.4 to 45.1 is referred to as fair when compared to other participants in this age group. This would mean that in terms of health, a participant who would have achieved this score would show fair signs of being healthy, in turn, reducing their chances of obtaining cardiovascular disease in the future or any other serious illness. However, in the multi-stage fitness test, the participant in this study was able to achieve a score referred to as excellent by Quinn. This is because they also state that a score within the regions of 51 to 55.9 is excellent for a 13 to 19-year-old, whereas they then achieved a result of 60.9 in their Queen's College SEP test, which is deemed to be superior. Because of these significantly higher results when compared to the ordinary male at this age range, the argument can be made that the participant is currently standing in an excellent position when referring to their health. For instance, Bonner 2020 state that people with higher fitness levels experience lower rates of cardiovascular and coronary artery disease, colon cancer, and type 2 diabetes when researching the benefits of a healthy VO2 max score. Based on this quote, a researcher could note that the participant will have a decreased chance of becoming ill as a result of their cardiovascular system. This is a significant benefit to their health, as developing a cardiovascular disease at such a young age could set them up for an array of issues in the future. Furthermore, Bonner goes on to give the suggestion that this participant has an increased chance of living a longer life by giving the evidence of those findings from the American College of Sports Medicine are supported by additional research, which revealed that a 10% increase in VO2 max could decrease all-cause mortality risk by 15%. In addition, the excellent and superior scores implying that the participant is healthy is backed up by the UCDA visualhealth.com 2020, which states that accordingly, high aerobic fitness levels are associated with numerous health benefits, e.g., longer lifespan, better quality of life, reduced risk of stroke, heart disease, diabetes, and cancer, improved mood and self-esteem, and improved sleep patterns. Because an individual needs to have a high aerobic fitness level to gain such a strong VO2 max score, the participant can be linked to the benefits listed in this quote. For instance, not only will their physical health be put in a strong state, but also their mental, as their quote lists an improved mood and self-esteem as one of the benefits. In the participant's current stage of life, this particular benefit could especially be beneficial, as they may soon have to start to mature throughout early adulthood. Having these attributes associated with their body will only improve their health. However, if the participant can't maintain their current healthy VO2 max score, their health could correspondingly deteriorate. This could be because their body won't be supported with a strong and healthy cardiovascular system. As a result, meaning that their physical health would be put under more pressure and in turn possibly causing them to develop serious conditions. For example, the American Heart Association 2020 stated that a low VO2 max is associated with increased risk of cardiovascular disease and all-cause mortality, therefore emphasizing the importance of the participant keeping their excellent and superior VO2 max score when it comes to staying healthy.